blush, and so I just had a couple hacks I want to share with y'all today. I think work across pretty much all our areas. First up is probably something you don't think is exciting, but it's name tents. And the reason I like name tents is because I'm a visual learner. I'm horrible with names, and so all year the students put these out on their desk. And it helps the kids learn each other's names faster. When they go to group, they take their name tents with them, and then that way they all don't have that awkward, I don't know the kid's name thing, which is kind of nice. And the way we use it in class is if they have my guest speakers also like it, as do my substitute teachers, because they can address the kids by name. They can also, the guest speakers really like it to be able to be personal. And the administrators like it too when they come in class, because they can pick up kids' names as well. It's really convenient. So part of the class culture is that they're going to put the name tent up on the question mark if they have a question, so I don't have kids raising their hand or stop working or stop taking notes or stop paying attention because they're doing this. And that's kind of nice, and they know that I'm going to get to their question. And it's really nice to scan across and see that. Now you do have to work on the cultural side of this, because you're still going to have kids that try to use the name tent in their hand to ask a question, which defeats the whole purpose. But you also got to give them the habit of starting off class, getting them on their desk, putting them on their desk, and then putting them away at the end of class. So it's a quick culture, and my kids already have that culture, so they should be able to pick it up. They'll also put it on the blue side, which is exclamation point, if they have a long-term problem, like they don't understand the assignment, their Wi-Fi is not connecting. So I can hit my real quick questions, the red question marks, I can knock those out, answering them as I go to get to the blue ones, which are going to probably be a minute or 2 minutes of my time to try to answer. Some other things about the name tents, down at the bottom you'll see that I've got the symbols for Gardner's Intelligence. So if my students do that quiz, and this helps me differentiate my instruction, I can pull up the name tents in a period and go, oh, these kids are a lot more in this area, so let's try to shift some instruction in that direction. I also want to answer questions for them. In the middle, I also have the VAK, because they do that. So if I see a kid with a question up and he's an auditory learner, I can shoot or shout across the room the answer, and he's going to get it. If it's visual, I got to go over there and kind of show him what's going on. That helps me out. And then they also mark if they like working individual, small group, or big group. And again, that's for class planning and some other things, so I can help with that. Down at the bottom, the copyright, that's my company. Y'all can use this for any reason you want. You have my permission absolutely as long as you're a public school teacher. But at the bottom, I put all of the little like test out numbers and table numbers and student numbers. They even write down like their passwords, and because who really cares what their turn-in password is? But they ask you how many times at the period, what their passwords are, so they write it down. And on the bottom, we stamp when they go to the bathroom, and then they leave this on my desk. And if we have an emergency, I know exactly who's out of the classroom immediately. And when they come back, they take it back, and then that way I can see, wait, you've had 17 bathroom passes, and it's only the second week. So you can take a look at that and monitor that as well. Tip, make sure it never leaves the room, you'll never get it back, so make sure that they have a basket for it in the classroom to leave it. This is on the share drive, student staff share drive under CTE. Open that, it's a PowerPoint slide, and you just print them out on heavy bond paper or cardstock, and then they last almost all year. Of course, kids are always. My other favorite thing to do, we're going to next, we're going to talk about no-tech assessment. Wi-Fi goes down, their phones don't work, their service isn't charged. This is my favorite because they can write out answers, and normally these are too expensive. I'm going to show you this cheap. So if you have answers to like short answers, one-word answers, even ABCs, the way you do, you go to Lowe's, you go to the paneling aisle, you look for tub board. That's the board that goes around tubs, and they'll cut it into one by one. You get 32 of these for about $8, and then the duct tape's about $5. So I take the corner so if they drop them, they don't chip and tear apart. But you can get 32 of these for about $15. If you want to go cheap, you can cut up tube socks and make erasers, or we can, we're neighbors. Just ask parents to send them in, and we'll get, enough of the dry erase boards and erasers and everything back, which is super, super nice. So I use these all the time. 2 to 3 days a week we use these in class. My next note tech is really simple. I got this from a teacher in South Georgia. You have a bag per set per class. They literally put the cardstock printout on their table with a little pom-pom that you pay a nickel for at the craft store, and you can look across the room and they just put their answer on ABC. You can see all the way across the room because it's all color-coded. So you can actually do this zero tech, and even less tech that's an answer D. Can you see that from across the room? It's a printed out piece of paper because sometimes we get so tech focused and it's frustrating because you spend 5 minutes trying to get the tech to work, and then this is just quick. So those are some note techs. My last thing is post-it note progress. I always have a hard time knowing where kids are when they're working individually. And you ask them if they understand it, and they say yes and all that, and they don't. Or group work, you get to the third day and they're still on step 1, and you don't know what's going on. So I make these little post-it note things, and this is also on the staff share. Now mine's kind of boring, but you can see this, to that side you can see that I've got 3 post-it notes, which means 3 of my kids are on station 1. A majority of my kids are on station 3. So I'm gonna go look at the names of the station one and find out why they're behind. Do they not understand it? Were they absent? And then you can also track periods that way because you might have a problem. Now this requires you to do chunking. Now chunking is not shrimp rolls. Chunking is where you actually get breakups information. So on your assessment, like here's research, here's where you're gonna decide how you're gonna present your research, here's you're gonna create your PowerPoint here. So that's like chunking. So you're thinking for them how to break the assignment up, and then you have them go on put Mr. Happy Post-it note on this station here, your guy here, and move Mr. Post-it note, congratulations. If you're a French teacher, they can move from the Eiffel Tower to Napoleon. If you're a history teacher, they can move from Ramesses II to Tutankhamun. You can make it personalized, a lot of fun. You can use clothespins, or Velcro attached things or things like that.